Hi everyone, welcome. Thanks so much for stopping in. I'm Rena, and in today's Boxes and Deals, I'm going to do an eyeshadow look, getting back into my Devinah Cosmetics eyeshadows. So a lot of these are multi-chromes, and this is actually, I'm going to peel it off because I haven't yet. This is actually a Devinah Cosmetics eyeshadow case, magnetic palette. So I like that you can see all the colors that are in there. And just like this is the collection that I have so far. That's what I've been able to grab usually for Black Friday sales. So I don't have a lot in comparison to some of my other brands that I have quite the collection of. I only have 3 mattes. I also just grabbed my Lash Step. I've seen this in a few subscription boxes. It's just some neutral mattes, so I'll use that as a background. If you want to stay and see what look I create with the Devinah Cosmetics eyeshadows, please stay tuned. Bear with me as my air conditioner is on in the background because it is hot here, but I just wanted to see what we create. I didn't like have a plan of which shades I would use. So what I'm gonna do at the end of the video is swatches and show you all the shades that I do have with their names. So if you're, in case you're looking for some specific colors or what they look like from Devinah, they're an amazing brand. All their shadows are quality, but that way that'll give you kind of an idea. I think I'm gonna go kind of grungy and do some of these middle ones here. So I'll show you in here how they change if I can show it on video. You can see it a little bit there. And of course, when I do the swatches, I'll be sure to kind of turn so you can see the different shifts as well. And we'll just do our neutral base first. So I'll go in with kind of a medium neutral brown right here. And these don't have shade names, but I will take a fluffy brush for that and make sure I clean it first. Right above the crease, like that. I kind of do a rainbow shape and then kind of go out a little bit further on the outside of my lid, just because I do have the slanted hooded eyes. So I try to make it look a little wider over here, more open. Like that. Then I'm going to take the kind of neutral peach right here, right there. Brush that dust that brush off a little bit so we can go up lighter, and then we're just going to kind of blend that in on the top, but brighten it up. So it looks a little more blended, slightly. This side looks a little darker than this side right in there, so I'm just gonna try to even that out a little bit. And I'm gonna take this deep brown for the outer corners. This one looks deeper right there, with a narrower brush. And for my eye shape, instead of doing the V, I could do the V and just kind of pull it up here to give it some lift, but I usually just kind of round it a little bit, if that makes sense, and just kind of in this area, like that. And then I'll sweep it underneath a bit. And now we're ready to add our color. I didn't end up using any of these mattes, but that's okay. And I will use my finger for these. I know you can use a brush, but I think finger gives a little more intensity. You can also do a wet brush, but I'm going to swatch all three of those middle ones just to compare and see which one I might want to use. They're all just so pretty. So this one is kind of a fuchsia to gold, and I know that there's some green and some copper. This middle one is kind of a red to blue, red base with a blue and teal and silver on top, and some purple in there. And then this one has also kind of a, I think that's a brown base with green and fuchsia, but it's a little bit different than this one. A little brighter green. This one's more gold green. So very hard to decide. You know what? I think I'm gonna go with the middle one just because it matches a little more in the middle of the eye. And kind of extend it into the inner part of the eye. And we can get more intense than that. What also would help, I did use an eye primer, but an actual glue primer over my, like I already did the neutral look, I could put like a glue primer over that, and then this would be even more intense. So I just kind of tap it right along here so it kind of blends into the outside instead of a harsh stop. And I'll blend it more with the brush as well. But that's how it looks so far. I don't know if you can see the shift. I'll do both eyes so you can see. That is a very pretty color. Oh, I didn't even tell you the shade name is on for that. Oh, I should have known. This is actually one of my favorite shades that I own. This is called Messier. And then the one that was a deeper gold green to red and copper. This one is called Paralucia. And then the softer green to fuchsia, so pretty. That one is called Asteria. For the inner corner, I'm gonna brighten it up a little bit with this shade. It has some silvery green and mint to teal. A little purple and some light. I'm gonna take a tiny brush. I'll probably need my finger again, but we'll take a tiny brush and try that. And this is the shade Twinkle Toots. So that just brightens up the inner corner a little bit, and then I kind of blend it into the other, like that. For the lower lash line, I'm going to go in with this. It's a little bit of a deeper purple and blue and teal. And this is the shade Skyla. Looks like this. So very similar. But we'll go in a little more purple, I think. But we'll go in with that along the lower lash line. with a softer kind of smudger brush. You could also do it with the eyeliner brush. I'm doing it below the waterline. I'll do an eyeliner pencil on the waterline just because the eyeshadow will bother my eyes. So I just do this along the lash line. And then I'll add my waterline and mascara and I'll show you the complete look. Alright, I already had some blush on and then I did my setting powder and everything. But I'm going to use the Sigma blush just to touch it up a little bit. And I'm using this is the Sigma blush palette, and I'm using this middle one right here called Pinkin, just to give a little more color to the cheeks. And then we're going to do a deeper one, and almost as like a bronzer. That is the shade Spiced, just a little bit underneath, just kind of give that bronze look right there. How many of you still have all your Ofra highlighters? This one is Star Island. That is one of the original ones. And yes, I still have it. So we'll go ahead and use that. I haven't used it in a while. It's just a very light champagne. Almost more like a white gold, I guess. We'll just dust that on very lightly. And we will set that all with my things went flying. My Anastasia Dewy set. And I did my eyeliner for the waterline. I did a multi-chrome from ColourPop. This is this shade Power Trip, and it is a multi-chrome pencil, so this is what it looks like and how it shifts. I don't think you can really see much shift on the eyelids since I did it in the waterline, but I think it adds a little bit of pop to the whole eye look. I love how it turned out. That shade is beautiful. Again, that was the shade Messier, the main one that I used for most of my lid. And again, I will swatch the shades that I have so you can kind of see comparison on my arm and do show some of the shifts. But that was my Devinah Cosmetics that I haven't used in a while, so I was excited to get it back again. On my lips is by Give Me Glow Cosmetics. Unfortunately, this shade is no longer available. They're kind of revamping their brand, I believe, and bringing new stuff in. But if they ever bring it back, I would probably buy it again because this is gorgeous. And it is a lip gloss in the shade She's All That. I know they were having some clearance sales, trying to clearance out their inventory so they can bring all their new stuff in. I don't know if that's still going on or if they've already sold out, but it's worth checking, and I will put their link in my description, as well as Devinah Cosmetics. I don't get a commission on either of those brands, but my other makeup, if it's like something you can get from Sephora or their direct website, I will definitely put in the link for those as well. Those ones I can, and I'll indicate in the description as well. Those ones I can get a little bit of commission, which then supports my channel so I can show you more things. What did you think? What do you think of these colors? And do you enjoy multi-chromes? I'm obsessed with them, but I don't wear them often. But yeah, so that is the final look. Let me know your thoughts. If you like this video, please be sure to give it a big thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in the next video. Stay tuned for those swatches. Bye.